this lot across the street, you can see all this construction going on. Some months ago, like right around the holiday season, perhaps. Um, I don't know when it was, but a few months ago, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe not the holiday season, there was a man that was working over here. This is just a big empty field, all the way from here to the other major street on the other side. And I remember sitting right here, and I don't want to show you my exact location, at this tree. I don't know if you can see the tree, but I guess that was kind of pointless. But I remember sitting here at this tree. I went to return a dictionary, actually, but the library was closed. And, well, see, I'm horrible. Anyways, so I remember sitting under this tree because I was just like, whoa, this is what was on the news. I didn't mean to see it because I don't watch the news because of that reason, because of all the negativity. But I went to wash clothes, and when I went to wash clothes, they had the TV on, and they were talking about something, how this guy got murdered, and it was like, basically, it turned out to be a prostitute and a pimp. That's what I'm saying. Somehow that got thrown in there, but it was like, I think this man was her ex-husband, and maybe she became a street person, and then she had a boyfriend who was a pimp. I don't know. She had a husband and a boyfriend, and a pimp. Somehow all three of those were involved, and the guy got killed. They murdered him and left him in this big field right here, and it's a big open space, and as you can see, people drive by all day. And I remember sitting here and mourning, I don't know the man, but mourning his loss, just the loss of another human being. And just the feeling that, okay, the person has died, it hasn't been so long ago, now the site where he died is just being dug up and made into something totally different. Now, I kind of feel similarly about, like, where I grew up, it was the projects. After my parents divorced, I don't know, now that I'm older, I don't know about that marriage so much, but, it was a marriage. But, when you live in the projects, eventually they tear them down. You know what I'm saying? And the idea behind that is to tear them down, build something better, reintegrate those people with different types of people. But what happens is that you make the good people bad when you do that. And I say that because of where I'm living now, I remember when I came there, and like I said, I have a selfie stick on my bike, and I was going to put my phone on there to use for the GPS and stuff like that. And I remember one of the boys that lived there, I was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that because somebody walked by and snatched it. He was like, oh, that foolishness, they would do that up the street somewhere, but it's a residential neighborhood. But if you move people like you in here that are beating up on your girlfriends, just all kinds of stuff like that, where the police are called frequently, it doesn't matter that it's a residential neighborhood. What matters is the type of people that's in there. That's why the other people are moving out. And then this is what I was talking about too, about like, I don't want to speak on stuff, but some of the stuff is just not my business to speak on. But everybody has a hustle. You know what I'm saying? And man, just. I don't think it's a good thing that they do that, I think we should keep the projects to projects. And if people want to get out the projects, they have to make an active effort to, and this is speaking from a former project girl, but this is what happens. Because if you're good in the projects, like my mom said, the type of company that you keep, so I didn't keep any, But what ends up happening is that if you're poor, you don't have anywhere to go, you lose your socialization. Well, I didn't lose socialization because I always had goals, but what happened was through the system. That's what happened. It's a big thing, but if y'all have questions, you're free to ask, but you have to ask in a way that's constructive, like you're trying to learn, not like you're accusing or anything like that. But I'm going to explain it the best way I can. Like the best way to questions too. If you're a person raised with separate values in the surroundings that you're in, and you're taught that you don't, be careful who you keep around you because you don't want, to be associated with that. And so you are. But then the thing about it is that while you're doing that, the most important thing in this world is socialization, because, that's how people maneuver and gain influence and all that. So you don't have any of that. All you think that you know is that if you do good, the right things will come to you. Not true. You have to be able to let other people have to be aware of that, and people can actively market, the opposite about you. You know what I'm saying? Or if nobody knows anything about you, that means anybody can say anything and make it true, But anyhow, yeah, so the point about this was that, this is a site where someone died and got murdered. It's being dug up. The person is long gone. Eventually, the fact that it happened is going to be forgotten by most people. The projects that I lived in, long gone. When I went back to visit my mom a long time ago, it was a sad thing. There's no memories. Everything's gone. But that's why it's important, the memories we create. That's why, I don't know, I just try to enjoy myself, enjoy life or whatever. And I'm going to tell you guys this, for those of you that don't know, I am perimenopausal. So, and I'm a female anyways, and I'm alone. So y'all are going to see emotions. Y'all going to see me laugh sometimes. Y'all going to see me cry sometimes. And it's going to be that much more exacerbated because of the legal system. And I like to show those emotions on camera because I think it's real. People wear masks all the time. And, I want people to see what it is like to be human and the human condition, without it being hidden. Sometimes I laugh. Sometimes I'm zany. Sometimes I'm just silly. Sometimes I'm serious as a heartbeat. Sometimes I'm a little off. And, I want it all to be seen because it's part of the human condition. I like being human. Anyways, I'm going to get in here. I have a few hours. I'm going to charge my phone, maybe read a couple of books, relax, think. I like to think, as y'all know, think a little bit, and then go on to this other place. And like I said, I'm supposed to start the next one on Tuesday. This one, if I can do a little bit this week, just to make some cash. But anyways, I love y'all. I hope you have a blessed day. And for those that love me and don't know it, I love you too. And for those that do love me spiritually and do know it, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyways, take care, and until next time, which will be soon because I am a serial blogger.